Remember the images from 2015?
The country registered about 1.1 million asylum seekers in 2015.
In Germany, they call this their welcome culture.
Germany, refugees, very good.
Germany and Austria welcomed thousands of refugees with open arms, tens of thousands arriving by train, greeted by cheering crowds. Refugees are welcome here, the sign said. Germany, once a beacon of peace and stability in Europe, now teeters on the edge of chaos. The pleasures of Berlin's vibrant nightlife and the freedoms of Western life are overshadowed by an alarming surge in crime and insecurity. Since 2022, crime has soared by over 30%, with at least 60% of this spike linked to immigration. The country's internal peace is under an unprecedented threat. This has not gone unnoticed by the German public. Anger and fear are brewing against the immigration policies of the past decade. Prime Minister Olaf Scholz, despite promising a drastic policy shift to combat this criminal tsunami, has so far delivered more rhetoric than action. Assault on the mosque. On the morning of July 24th, residents of Uhlenhorst, Hamburg were shaken by a massive police operation targeting the Blue Mosque, also known as the Islamic Center of Hamburg. Digital devices, money, and even a luxury black car were seized. The reality behind this raid is a lurking danger at the heart of the European Union. The Islamic Center of Hamburg served as a front for Muslim extremists spreading propaganda for terrorist groups like Hezbollah, recently responsible for several attacks against Israel. German authorities began investigating these criminal activities some time ago. During the first half of 2024, they raided 53 buildings linked to Iran and shockingly closed 4 mosques, including the infamous Blue Mosque. According to Interior Minister Nancy Fraser, they found strong evidence of activities linked to international terrorism. Fraser stated, "We have banned the Islamic Center of Hamburg and its affiliated organizations throughout Germany, as it is an Islamic extremist organization pursuing anti-constitutional goals. It promotes a totalitarian, extremist, and Islamist ideology in Germany, opposing human dignity, women's rights, an independent judiciary, and our democratic government." Germany faces a much bigger problem. With every additional percentage of growth in Muslim migrants, social tensions escalate and crime rates explode. In the past few weeks alone, several German residents have been eliminated in knife attacks by Muslim migrants. The heart of the conflict. Minister Fraser's sentiments reflect the deep concern among the German people regarding growing immigration from Islamic countries. We must approach this problem from 2 perspectives: the fear of terrorist acts by organizations like Hamas or Hezbollah, and the rise of ultra-conservative political positions among locals. Europe has always had a complicated relationship with Islamist terrorism, never letting its guard down in the face of recurring threats. Last year, migratory flows from Syria and Afghanistan put many nations on red alert for potential attacks against the local Jewish population or Western institutions.
Ja, schon. Also seit Silvester sind ja viele, wie soll man das sagen, generell die ganzen Leute, die jetzt auch in Köln wohnen, ne, gerade die Leute, die in Köln wohnen, die Stimmung ist ja ein bisschen angespannt hier.
For instance, Austria and Bosnia arrested armed Muslim militants disguised as refugees. On Christmas 2023, German police foiled a plot to launch an armed coup against the Cologne Cathedral. The Middle East conflict has only fueled the anti-Western fervor of terrorist groups, causing deep rejection among the local populations of European countries. One reason for the discontent was Olaf Scholz's call for Germans in Arab countries to return to Germany as a safe passage. The raids on Muslim religious and political buildings in Germany did not help maintain peace, leading to a furious response from the Iranian government. Amid political disputes, a more poisonous reality clouds German cities with an indiscriminate rise in insecurity. How does all this affect peace in Germany? We recommend watching our video on the immigration problems in Germany in recent years, as it complements this information. To summarize, there are 3 main immigration streams in Germany. Over 1 million Ukrainians seek refuge from the war. Romanians have been exiled for economic reasons, and a wave of migrants from Asia and Africa, mainly Syria, Afghanistan, and Turkey, has surged. In the last 3 years, this last group is estimated to be around 500,000 people. Unlike Ukrainians and Romanians, who are represented by middle-class families, professionals, or skilled workers, refugees from the Middle East arrive in poverty, struggling to find work or even linked to illicit activities. As of July 2024, 1.5 million residents in Germany are Syrians and Afghans, a trend that is sharply increasing. Almost every 20th Syrian now lives in Germany, with their number rising to 972,000 by the end of the year, 16 times more than in 2014. Half of the Syrians in Germany currently receive citizens' money, and most of the rest receive support under the Asylum Seekers Benefits Act. The number of Afghans in Germany has reached 419,410. Nearly half of the Afghans in Germany receive citizens' money, with the rest living off asylum seekers' benefits. This significant rise in the refugee population strains the German social welfare system, costing taxpayers nearly 50 billion euros a year. Germany's new citizenship law, which came into force last month, allows foreigners who have lived in Germany for 5 years to be naturalized. This means many Syrians and Afghans who arrived by 2019 are now eligible for German citizenship. However, many Germans are calling for the majority of these immigrants to be deported. The main reason for this was a reaction to the grisly elimination of a young police officer by an Afghan suspect, a crime that shocked the entire nation. Crime rates are exploding, and the government doesn't seem able to control it. This is reflected in an exponential increase in crime on the streets of German cities, with Berlin being the most affected. The latest studies since last year reveal shocking statistics. An 8.6% increase in violent crimes, totaling approximately 215,000 cases of intentional physical harm, the highest in the last 15 years. Total criminal activity, including theft and robbery, accounts for about 6 million crimes, a 7.6% increase. German police carried out 2.25 million arrests. Of those arrested, 41.3%, or nearly 1 million, did not have German passports. Over 400,000 registered suspects were refugees, asylum seekers, or illegal immigrants. These numbers are frightening, but the reality for Germans living with this wave of insecurity is even more terrifying. Berlin has seen a 35% increase in robberies compared to the previous year, leading to great unrest among natives.
The principle of zero tolerance applies. In the case of foreign perpetrators, in addition to the immediate consequences under criminal law, it also means that they must leave Germany much more quickly than was previously the case.
They are torn between demanding direct action from politicians or becoming radicalized by far-right groups. What solutions does politics offer to this problem? The Higher Administrative Court of North Rhine-Westphalia in Munster ruled that Syrians no longer automatically qualify for protection in Germany as their homeland is not universally dangerous anymore. Despite this, the Federal Office for Migration and Refugees, BAMF, denied refugee status to a Syrian convicted of smuggling migrants, indicating a potential shift towards stricter enforcement. CSU group leader Alexander Dobrindt emphasized the need for immediate deportations, citing hundreds of serious criminals identified for removal. However, political will from the SPD and Greens remains lacking, preventing effective action. This decision arrives too late for mass deportations to be effective, as Syrians remain the largest group of asylum seekers, with 38,000 applications this year alone.
The borders need to be closed. Illegal migrants need to be rejected without any exceptions.
Without significant political change, deportations are unlikely to occur, maintaining the status quo. Meanwhile, the rejection of the constant acts of vandalism and the indignation of the Germans grows month by month. This tense climate can erupt into civil conflict at any moment, and no one knows this better than the Prime Minister Olaf Scholz.
Solche Straftäter gehören abgeschoben, auch wenn sie aus Syrien und Afghanistan stammen.
Germany is not in its best economic moment, and in the words of its leader, they must transition to a breathing policy. Although Scholz continued with Angela Merkel's open arms policy after the 2020 pandemic, asylum requests increased by 73% in 2023 compared to the previous year, with hundreds of thousands of Afghans, Turks, and Syrians entering the country, not to mention millions of Ukrainians and Romanians. Today, immigration policy is once again a bomb ready to explode, and Scholz has decided to take a drastic turn in his position. His plan consists of 3 points. Reduce visas and residence or asylum permits. Although it has not been reported whether it will be a fixed percentage of the total number of immigrants, Germany will close its doors to many applicants who until last year would have entered without any problems. Measures will be hardened in refugee centers and migration asylums. This policy, questioned by the most progressive sectors, suggests that life in the centers and asylums will not be as comfortable and attractive as it was until now, to discourage the interest of refugees in choosing Germany as a destination. locate refugee centers outside the European Union. This policy has arisen from the decision of Giorgia Meloni, Prime Minister of Italy, to build centers in Albania, managed by Italian officials. Scholz appears to be considering this as an option, although he has received criticism from other European Union countries. For now, it's all promises. Will Germany find a balance, or is it on an inevitable path towards deeper social chaos?